Hey guys, real quick before we start the video, I'm working on a top 10 list of the best new Cars Diecast of 2024, as chosen by my viewers. So, if you're interested and would like to vote, please click the link in the description and vote for who you think the best new release of the year was. Now on to the video. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Weird Products, a series where I take a look at some of the strangest Cars products that I could find on the internet. Today, we're going to be taking a look at some winter-themed Cars products. Cars products that help you stay warm when you're outside, that let you play in the snow with some Cars theming, as well as some Cars items that let you stay warm inside if you don't want to go out in -4-degree weather. I totally get that. My yard has been covered in snow for the past 5 days, and every time I go outside, I feel like I'm going to freeze to death. But without any further ado, let's jump right into some Weird Cars Products Winter Edition. For those of you who don't like to go outside when it's super cold out, let's start off by taking a look at some Cars products to help you stay warm indoors, like some blankets. Now, a lot of Cars blankets, especially more recent ones, are really nice and really normal, like this one from Cars on the Road. It uses really great graphic design and a really nice, clean artwork of McQueen and Mater. There's also this really nice one that's meant to look like a Rust-eze ad. The image of McQueen used here reminds me of the Racing Red toy line. I wonder if that was intentional. I doubt it, but it is an interesting coincidence. I also love that the product photo on Amazon shows a fully grown adult man using this blanket. Honestly, more power to him. I don't think I've ever seen anyone look more relaxed in my life. And if you don't like that one, there's also this really nice Cozy Cone Motel one. But don't take my word for it, take it from the exact same guy. Obviously, this is just the blanket company reusing this image and editing the blanket to have their different blanket designs on it. You see that happen all the time. But my personal headcanon is that these two guys are clones who are in a violent battle to see who can be more comfortable in their Cars blanket. Currently, they're tied. This next blanket makes me feel weirdly threatened. It says, "Let's race," with an image of Lightning McQueen coming right towards you. "Let's race" is not a suggestion, it's a threat. Your life is in danger. Lightning McQueen is going to drive out of the blanket and right through you! There's also this blanket, which looks like that one low-tier god meme. I don't know, I don't like it. Now let's warm up with an officially licensed Cars-themed hot chocolate kit. I'd say I was surprised that there's an officially licensed Cars-themed hot chocolate kit, but at this point, I've been doing weird products for 5.5 years, and nothing surprises me anymore. They can make a Cars-themed knife, and I wouldn't be shocked. Oh, there's one. Alright guys, I think we've spent enough time inside. Put on your McQueen jacket, let's go. A constant issue in weird products is how often Cars items try to slap characters' faces on places where they don't belong. And last time I checked, Lightning McQueen's eyes and mouth don't belong on the human chest. All jokes aside, I think this is a pretty good design for a Cars-themed kids' winter jacket, with the exception of McQueen's face in the middle there. It just looks so weird, and it really doesn't match the rest. The rest of the jacket is full of logos and, this whole checkerboard pattern, and then in the middle it's just McQueen's face. I think it would have worked much better if they put a Rust-eze logo over in the corner instead. Maybe a little picture of McQueen if they wanted to incorporate an image of him so badly. Just having him in the middle there with the hood and sleeves above and all the logos beneath just doesn't look right. It looks like McQueen is trying to burst out of your chest. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if this was the after effect of someone who got hit by the Let's Race blanket. I think a jacket like this does it much better, looking like an actual racing jacket. This one's full of a bunch of fun Cars references and logos, some of the Piston Cup sponsors, Light Your Tires, World Grand Prix logos. I think it's much better than one where you have to cut McQueen's face in half every time you unzip it. But if you want to be the most hardcore kid outside on your snow day, you could always wear this XRS jacket. I actually quite like how this one looks. The blue, red, and black color scheme works pretty well. I especially love that the inside of the jacket is a different color than the outside, and the XRS artwork that covers the entire chest of the jacket looks pretty good. I will say I find it pretty strange that there's an officially licensed XRS Mud Racers winter jacket. I mean, that was one toy line that lasted 3 waves, but there's actually a weirdly high amount of XRS-themed clothing out there. Might be worth taking a look at in a future episode. This next jacket is pretty similar to the last one we looked at, except it's Cars 3 themed, and says, "Think fast." What is with the items today and having weirdly threatening slogans? Think fast, of course, implies that something is coming at you super fast. But don't worry, it won't be these 3 race cars. Instead, it'll be the 6-year-old wearing this jacket who'll probably try to steal your credit card to buy Robux. Protect your pockets, people. This next jacket is really interesting to me. Just based on the graphic design alone, it seems to be pretty old, and that tag seems pretty reminiscent of original 2006 Cars merchandise, so this may be one of the first ever Cars jackets made. What I find interesting about it is the fact that instead of featuring characters on the front, it features the Cars logo, and even the zipper is a little plastic Cars logo. The back does actually feature some character images though, that classic iconic McQueen and Mater shot, labeled "Welcome to Radiator Springs. Good old buddies." Okay, so this last jacket might be a bootleg one, but I really don't care. It'll finally help me live out my dream of being a Neon Racers themed version of one of the guards from Squid Game. If you're really going to go outside and play in the snow, you're going to need some Cars-themed gloves. Once again, most of these do look pretty good, but I did run into a problem while looking for gloves. Whenever I'm doing a themed episode of Weird Products, I always try to make sure that I'm not just looking at McQueen products. Since he is the main character and the most popular one, an absolute ton of McQueen merchandise exists out there, and I always try to make sure I cover some merchandise of other characters on episodes like this. Usually, that's not all that hard to do, but this episode I've been especially struggling. Nearly every piece of Cars winter gear out there is McQueen themed, and when it came to gloves, it was nearly impossible to find non-McQueen ones. You want to see the best ones I found? The best non-McQueen gloves? These. Yeah, they just say Tow Mater and that's it. A lot of Cars gloves are also packed with other pieces of Cars winter apparel, like this set including gloves, a hat, and a scarf. On the subject of hats, there are quite a few Cars winter hats out there. A lot of them feature the concept of putting McQueen's face on the hat, and they all look fine, okay at best. Like this one looks perfectly passable, until you see it on someone's head. Because on someone's head, it gets completely warped and stretched out, and ends up looking like this. McQueen, buddy, what happened to you? You were fine just a minute ago. It's clear that for this promo image, they stuffed the top of the hat to show you what it would look like when someone was wearing it, and it's like, thank you for being honest about how your product looks when it's being worn, but also, like, this makes the item look so much less appealing. I'm sorry, but I think cases like you are the reason why false advertising was created. Alright, now that we're outside... Oops, sorry, forgot about my car's boots. There we go. Anyway, as I was saying, now that we're outside, we could use this wonderful Lightning McQueen and Jackson Storm sled. This is one of those weird round sleds. I'm going to be honest, I really liked sledding as a kid. I don't really know if there's actually a benefit to your sled being round instead of, sled-shaped. But unfortunately, this was really the only Cars sled I could find, so we're going to have to make do with it. I'm sorry, your sled's going to be circular today, just suck it up. If you want to do some more extreme winter activities, don't forget to put on your Cars skiing helmet. Not gonna lie, this one looks pretty cool. I really love that shade of light blue they use, with kind of an interesting matte looking color scheme, and there are really nice graphics on the side with McQueen and Jackson Storm. And there are actually different characters on the other side. Mater and Mac, for some reason. Is it just me, or is that a really weird character choice? I mean, I know Mac is a pretty significant character in Cars 3, but images of him aren't really used on merchandise all that much, so it's a bit odd to see him here, especially with Mater. All I'm wondering is, where's Cruz? Why isn't she here in place of one of them? There's also a Cars snowboard, which is really unique and features artwork that I've never seen before. I wonder if this was artwork made specifically for this snowboard. Usually Cars merchandise reuses the same few images, but not this. The snowboard features heavily stylized artwork of McQueen and his Radiator Springs paint job, so stylized he doesn't even have the Rusty's logo on his hood, and I really love the use of color here. The image has really great usage of shading, with several parts of McQueen pretty much painted in black to have this great effect where it looks like the light's hitting him in a certain way. I love how this looks. There are also some designs on the board which I can only assume are carified snowflakes made out of gears. I'm genuinely really impressed by this. I was not expecting an item that looked this good. I'm not sure when this was released, but the fact that it uses artwork of Radiator Springs McQueen tells me it was probably between the releases of Cars and Cars 2. The same company also had a Disney Princess one, which featured an image of Tiana, and assuming these two came out around the same time, I would assume that it was probably around 2009 or so, since Princess and the Frog came out in 2009, so it couldn't have been earlier. Or if skiing is more your style, why not try out these officially licensed Cars skis? These are very first movie inspired, as you can see from the McQueen artwork there, I assume. Again, they're probably older items, but man, this is honestly getting kind of ridiculous. We've had Cars skis, Cars hot chocolate. What's next? They're gonna put Cars pictures on neck warmers? And finally, I'd like to talk about an item that I think may very well be the single strangest thing I've ever found while researching an episode of Weird Products. This last item ties in to an infamous piece of Cars lost media, and I still can't believe that I found this. Here's what happened. So it all started when I saw this link on Google Images, advertising a Cars glove and snood set. I thought it was pretty good to talk about, number one, because it's one of the very rare items here that don't only feature McQueen, and number two, because I don't know what a snood is. What is that? It sounds like a Dr. Seuss villain. I also really like the fact that the gloves are completely blank gray. There's no Cars theming on them, at least not on the side we see here. But the more I looked into this item, the more I started to be concerned that it was a bootleg, thanks to the weird, random amalgam of different character renders, seemingly just plastered into Radiator Springs, used on the snood itself. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any confirmation on if this item was official or not, so I decided to cut it out of the video and look for other Cars snoods. A snood, by the way, is just apparently a fancy name for a neck warmer. So I started scrolling through different images of Cars neck warmers, looking for any that I found strange enough to cover here. I really thought this one was funny. It says Race to Win and just has a screenshot from Cars 3 lazily slapped on it. And I wanted to talk about it because I'm pretty sure this is the only time I've ever seen Cal Weathers in an episode of Weird Products. And Cal's my guy, I gotta shout him out if I see him. But then I saw this. This is a Cars-themed neck warmer based on the cancelled Cars tune To Protect and Serve from 2015. This short, which focused on Sheriff leaving for vacation and leaving two rookie police officers in Radiator Springs who wreak havoc on the town, was cancelled in 2015 for unknown reasons and still hasn't seen the light of day, with many Cars fans desperately wanting to see it. Now, despite its cancellation, there were, luckily, a few pieces of merchandise to slip through the cracks, including a storybook which provided us with several images from the short, as well as its whole plot. But this neck warmer, shows promo art for the short that I've never seen before, featuring renders of the two police officers, Dee Dee and Mike, McQueen, Sheriff looming ominously in the background, and Mater covered in police tape looking like Lady Gaga from that one part in the Telephone music video. If you know, you know. All the renders here are brand new ones that I've never seen before, with the exception of Mike and Dee Dee, whose pictures are actually the same as the ones on the side of the Disney Store To Protect and Serve box set, which, to me, is enough evidence to prove that this was a real, legitimate promo image made for the short. It seems pretty clear that this was going to be the go-to promo art for these characters. The snood linked back to an Amazon page, but when I clicked that link, unfortunately, it told me that the page no longer exists. But after doing a bit more digging, I was able to find another website that had this product listed, and they actually featured an image of the snood not on the snood, just the art print that was used on it, giving us a good look at the full thing flattened out. And for the record, I also found this same type of image on a variety of different websites selling the other snood, the one that started this whole mess, so yes, that one is official too. Now, I'll put a link to this website down in the description in case you want a better look for yourself. The website is entirely in German. I then went and reverse image searched this and found a variety of other listings for it from other international retail sites, including several from different international versions of eBay. Despite this, I'm still unsure as to whether or not this item was officially released. I think these websites could just be using this image and then maybe sending you a different snood instead. I don't know. But considering several pieces of To Protect and Serve merchandise did make it out despite the short's cancellation, I wouldn't be surprised if this did too. I can't believe that a promo image for To Protect and Serve was hidden away on a neck warmer all these years, but it goes to show that sometimes you find lost media in the weirdest places. Sometimes while making videos about weird products, apparently. I think this discovery honestly cements us as one of the weirdest things I've ever discussed in this series. And there you have it, guys, a look at some of the weirdest Cars winter products that I could find. Now go on outside into the snow with your Cars coat and your Cars hat and your circular Cars sled and have a good time. Or stay inside with your Cars blanket. It's all up to you. I'll see you guys next time. Bye now. And I'm pretty sure Lightning McQueen's eyes and mouth don't belong on your chest. Yeah. It's not even that funny.